Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about what your crush thinks of you. And I have 4 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, and this will be group number 4. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. You can also wait until after this introduction. There will be an image of all the groups up close and personal, which might make it a little bit easier to choose the right group for you. So check that out too. But when you know which group is your group, head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to book a personal reading from me. I love doing personal readings for you guys. It's always a pleasure. So please check that out too. But let's focus on this reading right here. Choose your group and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Mystical Medleys tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1? What does group number 1's crush think of group number 1? Okay, they've seen you around and they are interested in getting to know you better, but I also feel like for the majority of you this is quite early stages, you know. This is not something that has been, you know, brewing for a long time. It's something new. I feel like you have maybe recently met this person, or maybe you met this person a few years ago, but it never really developed into anything back then, and that maybe this person also back then felt like they didn't really know you, or they didn't have enough information about you to completely form an opinion about you. They had like a first impression, and this first impression was very interesting. I think they found you to be, you know, someone that they were curious about. And they still are. If this is a new thing, of course, I feel like it's a little bit different for all of you. But if it's someone that you have met recently, I think this person is curious about you. They want to get to know you. They have gotten a good first impression of you, but they also lack information. It's just they don't have the full picture, the bigger picture right now. Like they don't see. Yeah, they see a few puzzle pieces and they don't have enough context. They don't have enough puzzle pieces to really put them all together. So I don't even think this person knows if you are single. I think they know so little about you that they don't even know that. And so that's a very crucial information. So yeah, they basically don't know anything other than the way you look. And I think they find your appearance very appealing. So, you know, yeah. I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about what your crush thinks of you. Okay. Page of Pentacles. Okay. They see you as someone that they don't have a full grasp on who you are, and they feel like they also don't have a full grasp on you. Like they don't have you in the palm of their hand. They don't really know where they have you, or like how, like they don't know where you two stand in terms of like how I don't think this person really knows whether you are interested in them. I don't think this person has a clue that you are interested romantically. Like this person has only met you, like I feel like, well, for some of you, this person might be someone that you have met more a few times, and so maybe this person should know more about you, but they just don't. It seems like it's never been brought up, like any important information. It's like if you two have been talking together, it's like you've been talking about other things. It's not been anything personal, intimate, anything about their private life, and they don't know anything about your private life, and that it just seems like maybe yeah, I really don't think this person thinks of you as an option because they don't know that you're interested. So with the Six of Swords reversed, okay, they might see you as a little bit of a little bit fiery, or like I don't know how this person has gotten that impression, and again it could be, you know, based on like one thing that you did one time, like but again, like if this was something that happened while this person was in the room, even though for you it was a one-time thing and like you would never do it again and you have never done it before, but it was just like a you know, that you were caught in the moment and, you know, something happened. Maybe you got angry with someone because of something, and you chose to stand up for yourself in that moment or something. And maybe that's very much not your usual MO, but I think this person has, I think this person thinks that that's who you are, like that you're someone who's very fiery, someone who has a temper, or can sometimes, you know, snap at people if people treat you the wrong way or something. I feel like it's different for some of you, but I feel like this person has gotten an impression of you that is maybe a little bit different from, you know, who you are normally, like that they've seen a different side of you. And so, I don't know. With a Page of Wands, this is someone who's like, who has his hand over his mouth, and I'm actually not quite sure what the card is trying to do. I don't know if it's like shock, like or if it's, you know, boredom, Like that could also be, like, I don't know, but it's Page of Wands, so I don't think it's boredom. I think it is a bit, the pyramids are in the background, and the pyramids, were a very, long project that took a long time, and, even though it wasn't boring for the people involved, the slaves who were, building it, but it was, something that took a long time, and so for those who were not a part of the slave labor could have maybe perceived it as a boring project from an outside point of view, because it took so long, and it was, I guess what I'm. So I guess it could also be boredom. I don't really. I can't. Yeah, it could go both ways. So I feel like maybe it could be also different for all of you, but I'm gonna go with shock, actually, because I feel like this person might, for most of you, I think this person might have been slightly shocked at something that happened at once, like when they were talking to you, or something that shocked them, something like some information that you gave them that they were very surprised about, like that it came as a surprise to them, that they didn't see it coming. And that could be, something you said, some information that you shared with them, or it could have been a reaction that you had to someone that might have been quite strong, where this person had expected you to just, let it go and let it slide, and they didn't think of you as someone who would stand up for yourself, maybe because they had the impression that you were maybe more of a people pleaser kind of person who just, were always gonna just take the diplomatic route or something. And so I think this person was just, expecting something different, and I think they were positively surprised, but it was still kind of shocking for whatever reason. But I think there could also be, like, okay, so for some of you there might have also been a slight moment in the past, like in one occasion where you were maybe talking, or where you were, spending some time together, that maybe this person felt like it was a little bit boring, or that maybe there was like some awkward silence where this person felt like they didn't really know what to say, and that it was also their fault. Like, it was not, like, this person wasn't blaming you for the awkward silence, but they just felt like maybe you two were not really vibing that well because you didn't have anything to talk about. So I guess it could be either of those two scenarios. Either something shocking or something boring happened. So but I think, like, this person still seems to be at a point where they don't want to judge you based on, the previous times that you two have hung out together, because it's just not enough. Like, this person needs more in order to really form an opinion about you. They know that, they have to get to know you. They have to, they have to also maybe meet you in a different circumstance. Whereas maybe in the past, or in the past few times that you two have hung out, it was maybe in the same circumstance, like that it was in the same setting, in the same, like maybe at, at a party or something, and maybe you two have only met up at parties, and so maybe this person feels like they don't fully know you until they know you outside of partying, when they meet you in your everyday life. That's something that this person needs in order to get the full picture of who you are. So, yeah. But I think this person sees you as someone who seems quite strong, in like that you seem like a tough cookie. You seem like someone who doesn't let anybody play numbers on you, like that. Or play games with you, or what, like that. It's like this person also sees you as a very smart and educated person. With the Page of Pentacles being a very educated, character. So I'm going to shuffle, and I'm going to shuffle these Gypsy Oracle cards to get a little bit more information on what your crush thinks of you. Priest reversed. So this person doesn't see you as a priest. So this person might see you as someone who is not overly sanctimonious, not someone who thinks you are more sacred or holy than anybody else, that you seem to be very, very grounded, very, like you don't take yourself too seriously, which I think this person likes, that you don't seem like a person who is judging people for maybe doing some, like I think maybe you have also shown this in the last time you two spoke. I think you showed a lot of tolerance in like either it was about this person's past. I don't know if this person opened up to you about something from their past. Maybe they have had some trouble with the law or something, or that this person might have had a bad experience, or like something where they like something that they might have been a little bit embarrassed about because they feel like it's shameful in some way. But I think they felt like you were not judging them at all. Like it was like it didn't even shock you, which I think this person might have found a little bit interesting, that it didn't come as a shock, that it, like, even though this person was telling you something that was possibly quite quite hardcore, it didn't seem to bother you. It didn't make you even have like a reaction, where like usually this person expects people to at least at least show something like that their face usually reveals that they're not completely okay with it, but that they try to use their words to make it sound like they're okay, but this person can kind of tell usually that someone is just trying to be tolerant, but their face reveals it, that they're not. But when they were talking to you, it actually seemed like you were completely, understanding, and that it seemed like you were really trying to also listen to what this person had to say, and that you were listening without actually judging. So I think that's the thing here. And of course I know that, like, I'm not saying that priests don't do that. Like, it sounds like I'm saying that this is the opposite of a priest, someone who listens to people with no judgment. Of course, a good priest would also do that, but it's just, I just needed to, read the card based on what associations I was getting. And I don't have anything against priests. I have studied theology myself, even though I dropped out, but I was planning on becoming a priest. So, I don't have anything against priests, just so you know. But, yeah. I'm going to shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a little bit more information on, how your crush perceives you. Oh. Warrior. Yeah, this person sees you as very strong. And so I'm going to read the light attributes on the card. It says strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. So I guess this person sees you as a strong person, a disciplined person, someone with a toughness of will, someone who seems to be, also quite motivated in your pursuits. And yeah. With the Liberator reversed, it's like, I'm going to read the shadow attributes because, it came out reversed. So it says imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. And I don't know, but I feel like there is like a part of this where I kind of understand a little bit of what's going on. I think this person doesn't really quite know, like this person doesn't know you that well, and this person has only gotten a few puzzle pieces of who you are. And I think this person sees you as a very strong person, someone who is very tough, that you come across as someone who's not easily scared away, but also someone who might sometimes fight for people who are not really asking you to fight for them. So the thing about, like, I was getting something in the channeling about you standing up for what you believe in or something like that. But it could also be that you were standing up for someone else. And maybe that was actually the reason why you were standing up to begin with, because maybe if it was about yourself, you might have let it slide because maybe you are a little bit of a people pleaser, and if someone says something, you might usually feel like, okay, it's not such a big deal, let's just move on. But if it's someone else that is the target of something where you feel like this is very unfair and this is bullying, or this is, just very mean, and if you witness something that you find unjust, you want to say something about it, And I think that, like, I feel like this person might have seen you, like, right at the moment when you were sticking up for someone and trying to have that person's back. And maybe they kind of got lost in the context of it a little bit, maybe because they got into that conversation a little bit late, where they didn't really know what had happened right before, and so maybe from their point of view, from what they were hearing, they thought you were maybe making a fuss about something that wasn't that big of a deal. And maybe because the person that you were maybe angry with, because they had said something nasty, maybe this person knows that person, and so they were maybe kind of biased because they felt like their loyalty was maybe with their friend, and so they felt like you were attacking their friend or something. And I know this is very specific, so it's not going to resonate with all of you, but I just feel like maybe this person got like an impression of you that was a little bit blended, a little bit mixed, because on one hand they saw you as, and they still see you as someone who's, you know, very strong, and like, not that these two things are, you know, opposites, because they are the same thing basically, but you know, they've seen you as someone who's very, very interesting, because you seem to have a lot of drive and a lot of motivation, and that you seem like, you know, a hero type, that you can both be the hero of the story, but sometimes you might also end up seemingly as, you know, someone who's on the wrong side of that, like that you're not a villain, but that you sometimes might turn to the dark side or whatever. I don't know, that this person just feels like they had to feel that way because they felt like their friend was on the right side, you know, the light side, and that by default, if you were on the opposite side of that, you would be on the dark side. And so in that particular thing, in that situation, they couldn't side with you. So it's very complicated, I guess, but it also seems like it's just someone who is not quite sure who you are, so they're trying to figure it out. And they don't know enough about you to really form an opinion. But from what they have seen, they see you as a little bit of trouble sometimes, or like, because of the Six of Swords reversed here, you know, when it's upright, it's someone who is sailing towards calm waters from stormy waters, but when it's reversed, it's someone who's sailing from calm waters to stormy water. Like, didn't I just say that? Like, did I say it the opposite? Well, sorry, but what I'm saying with this card reversed is that it means that this person feels like you are someone who could be stormy. They could be like sailing towards someone who's a troublemaker, or someone who's trouble. Like, there could be, and I think this is this is not really. But it could be two different. Yeah, now we're getting into semantics, and I'm not sure. But trouble, you know, someone being trouble can be a good thing, you know, like that. Like, oh, you mean trouble, or like that. This is. I'm getting myself into some trouble, and like sometimes it can be a good thing, because it's like you know, you are, you know, attractive, but you're maybe also someone who could end up being interesting to them. And so maybe that's a trouble, that they could, you know, maybe see themselves getting involved with you. But again, they have not seen you as an option. So I don't really see that as the possibility here. And I don't even know why I mentioned it, because I shouldn't give you false hope. But I think it's mostly that this person actually just sees you as a troublemaker because of one thing. But I think, again, like they know that they can't judge you completely just based on this one situation where they had loyalty with the villain, and therefore had to see you as the problem, because they couldn't see their friend as the problem, because that would be a breach of their trust and their bro code to, you know, to not take their side in this or whatever. I don't know. So, or girl code if this is a woman that you're asking about. But I don't know. But mostly I just feel like this person doesn't quite know you that well and hasn't gotten all the puzzle pieces together. They lack a lot of context, and yeah. But I think that's all I have for you. Group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose this Tarot of Mermaids tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2? What does group number 2's crush think of group number 2? Okay, they think you're really sexy. They find you to be very attractive. You know, they find you to be very beautiful or handsome, or, you know, like that you have like a, you have the whole package. And that this person thinks of you all the time. And yeah. And this person feels something when they think of you, you know. It might not be butterflies, not yet, because, you know, it's very early stages. But this person definitely feels a tingle, just not in the stomach, but, you know, it's there. And this person is, you know, very sexually charged whenever they think of you. Like it's like, yeah, this person definitely wants to bone, you know, like this person wants to sleep with you. And like, I think this person has also masturbated to the thought of you, and possibly also pictures. Like they might have scrolled through some pictures on social media, and, you know, yeah. And it got them in the mood, seeing you. And, you know, take it as a compliment. It's a little bit creepy, but, you know, it is a compliment. And it's a good thing. It's not creepy, you know. It's only creepy if it's someone that you don't want to have doing that. Like that it seems like you want them to, because it's your crush. So I think it must be nice to know. And so, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about what your crush thinks of you. Okay, the Tower is here, and you know, I feel like there is some different things that I could read out of the Tower, because obviously the Tower is not the greatest card, but I'm not gonna let this throw me out, because you know I'm really feeling this connection, that there is, you know, such a sexual energy here, and the Tower is also a rather sexual card because it's very phallic. You know, it is. It is. You know, that's. It's very phallic, and I'm gonna go with that because I think this person, like especially if it's a man that you're asking about, I think this person gets very turned on thinking of you. And you know, the Tower here, like this is actually quite interesting because it's actually a light tower. It's a lighthouse. It's a lighthouse. This person is lit. You know, I'm not gonna see the Tower as the Tower here because it's a lighthouse. It can't get hotter than that, you know. I'm not like, yeah. But of course, like if there is something else going on here, for instance, if you are asking about someone who is married or someone who is currently in a relationship with someone else, then the Tower might make sense. But if you're asking about someone who's single and the Tower comes up, I'm gonna read it as a, you know, as a sexual energy thing, that it's just that there's a lot of sexual tension here, and that, you know, yeah, I'm just gonna read that. Maybe I'm just reading what I want to read, but you know, but of course, if this person is married, then I think this person actually thinks of, you know, throwing the person out of the Tower. Like, you know, these two mermaids are being thrown out of the Tower. They are not really being thrown out, though. They're, you know, throwing themselves out willingly, so that they don't burn. And I don't know, there might also be some fears that this person has. Okay, this could be their fears. Or what your crush is maybe fearing when they think of you is that maybe they are afraid that they're gonna get burned. Maybe because they are afraid that you don't feel the same way towards them as they do towards you. So also, if you are currently in a relationship or seeing somebody else, they might think that this is, you know, this is a dead end where they can't, you know, they can't pursue you because it's like it's too complicated, and but they have all these feelings, and you know, I feel like there could be like some kind of complication, something that makes it a little bit harder to approach you. maybe this person also feels like they have tried to approach you in the past, but failed. And so maybe they feel like you have already rejected them, that you have already thrown them out of the tower, that you have done that in the past. And so that could also be what the card is suggesting, is that they feel rejected by you. They feel like there is no room in the tower for them because, you know, it's your choice and you have chosen differently, or that they are maybe waiting for you to change your mind about them. But I don't know why they have gotten the feeling that you didn't want them in the past. But I guess maybe this person felt like they were flirting with you in the past, or that they asked you out, but that they were that they got an answer that was a little bit different than the answer that they were expecting from you. And so that might have been like, they might have felt like that was quite obvious, that you were not interested. And so I think they saw it as a hint that they should just walk away. But I'm not sure. But they feel like maybe you should be the one making the next move, because they feel like they made their move and you didn't. Like they shot their shot, but they didn't hit the mark. And so if you shoot your shot, maybe then, you know, like then this person is going to be open to that. But that they feel like it's your choice, that they can't change your mind, and that they shouldn't, because, you know, they are all about, you know, accepting people's choices and not trying to force anything, and not trying to overstep, and not trying to, you know, become so cringy in their approach, where they I think they are afraid of being clingy and coming across as someone who's, you know, coming in too strong to the point where they scare you away, you know. So I think they have tried a very subtle approach, because they didn't want to come across as, you know, too much. But the thing is that maybe you didn't even notice that they did this. Like, maybe it was so subtle that, you know, it just flew under the radar, or like that, or over the radar, or I don't know. But like that it didn't seem to, you know, it didn't seem to catch your attention. It seemed like this person was just making jokes or something, and maybe you just felt like it was just, you know, regular friendly banter that was going on, that you didn't really see it as something that was I feel like this person might have teased you or something, and you might have just thought that was quite clearly like a friend zone move. Like, this person might have, you know, pushed you into like a, I don't know, like, this is very specific, so it's only going to resonate with one of you, but they might have pushed you, and in their mind they thought they were, you know, teasing you in a romantic sense, which I don't really understand how this person came to that conclusion, because it doesn't seem very romantic to push someone either into some water or push someone into like a hench, or like, I don't know, like I don't know. I'm gonna shuffle and see if there's any more, you know, information about what this person thinks of you. Okay, 4 of Cups. So, yeah. This person thinks that you play hard to get, which is kind of funny. I don't know, like, this person needs to really, you know, step up and actually say what's on their mind, because you're not going to get it unless it's, of course, maybe you know what this person feels about you. Maybe you have been catching the signs and the hints that this person has been throwing at you, but they have been so subtle that it just feels like, you know, nobody wants to, you know, read something into something that, like, even if it seems like, yeah, it seems like you know, and maybe you feel like you intuitively know this, but intuitively knowing something is, you know, one thing, but acting on something that is so direct that you feel like, okay, yeah, now this person is making a move and now I need to make a move back, you know, that sort of thing is different. You need to have that green light, you know, where you feel like, okay, now it seems like we're both ready to do something, because even if you have like an intuitive feeling about another person and about their feelings towards you, and if you have psychic abilities, you probably have also experienced this before, that you might have read something and that you could definitely tell that someone was romantically interested in you, so you acted on it, but it ended up being too early, you know, that the person was not ready for you to make a move, so it might have, you know, ended up making it a little bit awkward because it, you know, it was premature in the process. So I think this is one of those cases where I think you might have been too, like right now, like with this person that you're asking about, the crush that you're asking about right now, I think at this moment, I don't think you should be overly cautious, because I feel like the green light is here. The lighthouse is shining on you to show you the path. It's showing you the path, and it's showing you that, you know, you know, there is access here. You can just choose. You can choose to make a move, and this person will very likely accept that move. So I don't think you should be so worried. But again, I feel like this person could also be the one making a move on you. So like it goes both ways. I don't think it should necessarily only require your action, especially since this person is very attracted to you. So you can still, you know, wait for this person to come to you. But again, this person might be more afraid of reading the signals wrong or something, because maybe this person is not the most intuitive person in the world, so they have that disadvantage that they might have in the past read some signals that were not there, you know, and so they might have burned themselves on other people because they thought there was, you know, subtext, like that there was something that was written between the lines, and then it turns out that it was not the case, you know, like, and I think there is maybe higher stakes for this person, like and so I think this person is afraid that you are going to reject them, and that you seem to not be very interested in them, or that they feel like, well, you are so busy with your own stuff that maybe, like, maybe you're not gonna be interested in them. And maybe especially if you are currently seeing somebody, which I know is very specific for only a very few of you. But if you're seeing someone right now and therefore not actually available, then I think this person feels like, you know, why would you jeopardize something that you have already, something that is, you know, something that seems in reach for you, like something where you have it, like you have it already. So why would you risk it all for a pie in the sky? Something where you don't even know if it's actually gonna develop into anything, where it's just, you know, like kind of like a wild card. So why would you risk that? And I think that might be why this person feels like there is too much at stake here, that they feel like it's risky. And it could also be them, because I feel like that's maybe also a message for some of you, is that if this person is the one, like if your crush is the one who is in a relationship right now, they might not want to risk their settled life, you know, now that they have something, they don't want to risk it for a pie in the sky, something that, you know, seems like a great idea, something that seems like a dream come true, but you can't quite jeopardize something settled, something secure and stable, like for something that is risky and can go both ways, you know, something where it's like, of course the attraction is you know, extremely present here, but, you know, is it realistic? I think this person might be afraid that it's not actually realistic, you know, like that they don't know whether you truly have interest for them, or whether you're maybe just interested in them because they are not available, if they are not available, you know. So I'm gonna shuffle some of these Gypsy Oracle cards just to get a little bit more information on what your crush thinks of you. Okay, it's a little bit too many cards, but I'm gonna read them anyways. Okay, they don't see you as the enemy, because the enemy is reversed here. That's a great thing. They don't see you as false, because the falseness is reversed. So they don't see you as a false person either. So that's nice. But with the sorrow, I feel like that might go hand in hand with the Tower. Is that this person is very into you. But you have also caused this person some grief. And this grief is something that this person has a hard time, you know, they have a hard time trusting you because of something that might have happened in the past. Maybe because you rejected them, maybe because you said something to them, or maybe because of some actions. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like it's different for all of you, but I feel like this person doesn't quite trust you or trust your intentions, because they feel like in the past you have shown interest in them and then suddenly you lost interest, or that it seemed fleeting, like that you seemed to have feelings one day and then the next day it was gone, or whatever. I don't know. So this person definitely they haven't figured you out. They still, like, they see you as a mystery, but they also find that to be quite sexy, that you're something, like, you're a mystery that they haven't solved yet. So there's still a lot of layers that need to be revealed to them, and a lot of things that need to be figured out. And I think this person is curious about you and curious about getting to know you and understanding how your brain works, because at this moment I think this person doesn't quite know what you're thinking or like what's going on. So but it seems that this person has been slightly frustrated over this, with a journey reversed. This person might feel like your journey has actually ended, which I feel is a big grief for this person. It causes them, that could also be the sorrow that this person feels, is that they feel like there is no future between you two because it's kind of ended. That maybe, I feel like for some of you, you might not have spoken to this person in a long time, or there might have been a falling out period. And so maybe this is why this person feels like there is no chance for a future, because it feels like it was a dead end, like things will not progress because now you're not even talking, so there's no chance of progressing or building on whatever you two had. But this person still thinks of you, still uses your image sometimes when they need to get in the mood. If this person is in a relationship right now, they might even think of you to get in the mood for their spouse, which is kind of, a little bit, wrong, but I guess, it's a means to an end, and I guess the spouse probably gets something out of it as well. So maybe it's okay, but I think, I think this person definitely sees you as the one that got away. Especially if this is something that happened in the past. If there has been like a long no contact period here, like, then I think this person feels like it's a shame that nothing developed into anything, like that this seemed like a sure thing that was just interrupted, and that if it wasn't interrupted by something, like by some outside influence, then maybe this would have been, you know, then maybe this would have been you two against the world. Like, you know, like that this person might feel like this was never, like, this never got a proper end to it. Like, they need the closure, possibly. I feel like this person is in dire need of closure, and that's also why they still think of you, and this person has a hard time moving on from this because there was never any closure. But of course, if this is someone that you know right now, you know, if it's not someone from the past, then I feel like this person needs to get a green light from you. Like they, because I feel like this person thinks that there's absolutely no chance, that this, it seems like they find it to be quite unrealistic, for whatever reason, to be with you. The priest is reversed here, and I think, like, this is someone who's reading. It's a priest who's reading the Bible, and it's reversed, and so I think this person might have felt like you read them wrong in the past, that they have made a bad first impression on you, which is not the case, obviously, because you have a crush on them. But I think they think that you didn't like them in the beginning, or that that they were very misunderstood in the beginning. And maybe you even had like an argument right in the beginning of your connection, and maybe you just didn't quite understand each other back then, or understand each other's intentions, and that, of course, a lot of things can get lost in translation, and I don't know what happened, but it might have just been a big misunderstanding. But I think this person just felt like you saw them in a different way, like that maybe you like maybe you accused this person of lying in the beginning of your connection. Like, you might have caught them in a lie, and maybe it was very obvious to you, and maybe it was also like an intuitive thing where you just knew that this person was, you know, not really telling the truth. And I think this person felt so triggered that you would think of them, like that you would think so little of them to think that they were lying, which is kind of funny because they probably were. But I think they felt unfairly judged, that you were, you know, reading them wrong and believing the worst about them. Like that, how can you think so little of me? Like that, that sort of thing. Like that this person might have even said that you two can't be friends if you think this person was capable of lying about something like that or whatever. Like, and that this person made it into something really serious, and like a very serious accusation, and that you should be like that, you know, that. But the thing is that I think this person just got very defensive because they were caught in a lie. So I think all like I don't know, like I don't know what to say here, but like that, I think this person just felt, you know, very felt judged, or felt like you didn't like them, or that they were that in the beginning I think this person thought that your first impression of them was kind of terrible, and that they tried to redeem themselves by maybe changing your mind about them. But then, like, as soon as they were starting to change your mind, something happened that interrupted it all and caused you to you know, stop talking, because suddenly something got in the way, or someone got in the way, I don't know. But it seems like this person feels like if you had more time to discuss this, that maybe the outcome had been different. I don't know. It feels a little bit complicated, but the thing is that I still feel that this person thinks of you as a very attractive person, and I stand by that claim, even if the cards are a little bit, you know, a little bit darker than I expected. But I'm going to shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a little bit more information on how your crush perceives you. Group number 2. Okay, trickster and martyr. I don't know how to pronounce martyr. I don't know. It's so different in English sometimes. Like, I would just say martyr, but you know, in Danish. But you know, it's so different sometimes, and it's just like, so there's also so many different dialects. You know, some might say it differently, like depending on where they come from, and I don't know. Like it's but that's not what this is about. It's about like, let's just talk about the cards here. With a trickster, it says transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. So I think this person sees you as someone who's quite unpredictable, a little bit of a trickster. I did say that there was something about a wild card. I don't know if this, like, in what context I was talking about wild card. But I guess this person sees you as someone that they can't figure you out. You're too unpredictable, and like they can't just drop everything that they have in their hands to go and and fully invest all their energy in you, because they don't know if that's going to be a smart investment, because they don't know if there's going to be a payoff. So it's just too unpredictable. And with the martyr, it says learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. You know, okay, so learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. So I guess what I'm sensing from this card here is that I think your crush thinks of you as someone who is maybe more dedicated to the things that you believe in, and the things that you are a part of, you know, rather than the things that, you know, like that this person might feel like you're someone who would dedicate your whole life to a purpose, and that sometimes people become like a second priority when you have something bigger that you are focusing on, if that makes sense. Like especially if you do something where you feel like you have a calling, like something that like something where you can't just, you know, ignore that calling for another, like for a person who, and I think maybe sometimes, like I feel like this person might feel the same way, but not towards a cause, but towards another person in their life, possibly, you know, where this person might feel like, you know, they would rather go for a safe choice, someone that they know will, you know, will stay with them and won't change their mind about them, rather than be with you, who might have different opinions, like depending on the day, you know, on different opinions about them, that you have maybe sometimes been a little bit hot and cold towards them, and that they don't know what, if they're going to get affection or if they're going to get, you know, banter. And so they feel like it's just so, yeah, unpredictable. But that they feel like you also don't want to dedicate yourself completely or invest too much of your energy on them either, on this person that you have a crush on, because sometimes you might be more preoccupied with your job or your work or your hobbies or your interests or the things that you know that are important to you, and that maybe sometimes this person has felt like they came second to whatever you are doing as a job. I don't know, like it's like the message is not completely straightforward. I feel like it's a little bit vague, but I think at the end of the day, I think this person has this tension, like this person feels a sexual tension with you, and I think this person also feels very drawn to you and feels like you're someone that they can't really let go of because you keep popping up in their mind, but that they also feel like you two were maybe a little bit of a mismatch personality wise, maybe because or that you two were too similar in personality. And I know that it's contradictory, and like it's just like I can't just say all the things just to, you know, just to make it all resonate with all of you. But you know, the thing is that it could be either or, but it could also, like the thing is that this person might be looking for someone who is a safe choice. Even though they find you to be really attractive, they would rather choose someone who's a little bit less attractive to them, but someone where they feel completely certain of that person's loyalty, whereas they might feel like they can't completely say that about you because they don't know where your loyalty lies, if that makes sense. So even though they find you to be extremely attractive, it's complicated. So, but I'm gonna say one thing, and that is that if this person is in a relationship with someone at the moment, they definitely find you to be more attractive than the person that they are in a relationship with. And so that's a compliment, I guess, but I don't know what you can use it for, because, you know, it seems like it could be a little bit of a dead end here, because especially if this person is unavailable, and if you're unavailable too, you know, like, then maybe there's just no real future here. But if you're both single, then I just feel like you need to take a chance on this person, be a trickster, and just, you know, take a chance on this, because this person is definitely attracted to you. So what's the worst thing that could happen? But yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose the Wonderland Tarot, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3? What does group number 3's crush think of group number 3? Okay, so this person finds you to be very beautiful, but they feel like you two have not found common ground when it comes to something, or that this person just feels like you two are very different and that you don't get along very well because you're so different from each other. Or I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's that serious necessarily. I don't know if this person would ever like say up front that they feel like you two don't get along. It's more like this person feels like the differences, it's just too much for them to feel a romantic connection, you know? They can't feel a romantic connection with anyone who is their polar opposite. And so that's just a preference thing, I guess. Some people really like that. I think many people enjoy this whole dynamic where opposites attract, and, you know, where you feel like, well, it's interesting to see the world from someone else's point of view, where you feel like it's so different. So this person, like, sometimes it's also very complementary if one person is very rational in their thinking, and the other person being more intuitive in their thinking, and then they can complement each other, you know, that sort of thing is, you know, it can be very beautiful. And I think maybe that's what you see in this, that you see this as like an opposites attract sort of situation, where you feel like you two could, you know, could work really well together because you have different skills, different talents, and different yeah, different character traits, you know, personality traits, and that it could be an interesting duo, you know. I get it, I understand it from your point of view, definitely, but I feel like from their point of view, from your crush's point of view, it's just they want to find someone who is more similar to them. And I think they might also see some issues here, because, you know, if you have a different religion than they have, that could be a problem for them. Like, they might see that as a deal breaker in a relationship if you don't believe in the same thing. They might also have problems maybe with your political views, that if they are the opposite of their political views, like if it's very different, then they feel like that's maybe a recipe for disaster, that this person just doesn't want to argue with their partner, and so they would feel like if they were in a relationship with someone like you, they would be arguing all the time. And I don't think this person wants that, and I think they just want kind of like an echo chamber where they can be, you know, in total agreement all the time, you know, and just rile each other up and be like, oh yeah, I saw this on the news and I didn't like it. Oh, I didn't like it either. Oh, okay, so we both don't like it. Oh, how interesting. You know, that sort of, like, for me, that sounds boring as hell, you know, but I think this person needs that in their life. They don't work very well with adversity, or someone questioning them, or someone, you know, like someone challenging them. I think this person doesn't like to be challenged on their views. So, you know, it's just easier to be in a relationship with someone who has the same views, because then there's no challenge. Nobody's questioning anything. Nobody gets them to, you know, explain their point of view. So I think it's just easier that way, you know. So I hate to say this, but I'm not really seeing anything like realistically happening between you two. I feel like for this person, for your crush, it seems like this is not an option. Even though they find you physically attractive, you're not an option because you don't fit their, you know, you don't check all the boxes, and I don't know, and I feel like the problem is only the difference in opinion and difference in belief. That sort of thing. It's very important for them, for whatever reason, that you two have to have the same opinions. And like in a perfect world for this person, they would be in a relationship with someone who votes for the same party. Like that sort of thing. It's like they can't handle people voting for a different party. It feels strangely obsessive that everything has to be one way, and if it's not that way, then, you know, then this person just doesn't want to deal with it. Like it's just, I feel like it's a good thing that this person isn't romantically attracted to you, you know, or isn't, they are physically attracted to you, but they're not, emotionally interested, or personally interested, or whatever. And I think that's a good thing, because if you ever got in a relationship with this person, I think this person would try endlessly to change you and change your mind and, you know, corrupt you over to their side. And so, you know, they would constantly want to persuade you, convince you, and it would just be, it would be, you know, harmful in a way, because this person wouldn't accept that you have a different opinion on something, and that would be such a big thing that they would have, like, they would maybe even, you know, they would maybe, you know, give you money or something in order to get you to shut up about something, or keep something a secret, like that they would try to bribe you into telling people that you vote for a party that you don't vote for, just because they don't want to be seen with someone who has a different opinion politically. I feel like this is a very specific thing, so I don't know if this is going to resonate with all of you, because I'm getting something about political differences, and that's one thing, but I feel like for some of you it could also be religious. I feel like this person might come from a religion that, you know, that they might have grown up in, and maybe they feel like they can't leave that religion behind, so they would have to convert you over to their religion so that you could, you know, so that you could live up to the expectations that would be placed upon you as this person's partner, you know. And that's maybe not just them, it might also be their family, who might expect something from you, because they might expect you to convert, because they don't see any other way for there to be like a union between you two, if you don't change everything about you so that you fit into their strange cult thing. I don't know, like it just feels a little bit too much, really. So I feel like it's a good thing that this person already knows that they seem to be quite clear on that they know that you would have to change everything about yourself in order to fit into whatever they expect from you, and so they wouldn't. I don't think they want to, because they would rather just find someone that fits what they are expecting, like someone who lives up to whatever whatever qualifications this person has for whoever has to be. Like I feel like it's I'm gonna just say it, that I don't think this person is romantically interested in you because you're too different. So, and this person might not have respect for some of the things that you believe in, or things that you have an opinion on, which is just a very bad foundation for a relationship. You can't base a relationship on disrespect. So if you vote for a party that this person has no respect for, they won't have respect for you because you vote for that party, which is nonsense. And this, you know, it's a terrible way to live and way to see the world. But I guess that's just where this person is at, you know. I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say. So the Sun here, reversed. So this person looks very negatively on on this connection and on you. Sorry, not or it's not negative, but like they think of all the, like they don't think negatively of you. That was the wrong way to phrase it. But I think this person thinks of the things that don't work. You know, they are so fixated on the problems and, you know, not the solutions. And like this person sees the glass half empty instead of half full. And maybe it is actually just nitpicking. Maybe this person is looking for flaws in you, maybe because they don't, maybe because they aren't really at a place in their life where they are ready for anything romantic with anyone. So that could be, you know, one of the reasons why this person has so high standards, that they are looking for, you know, someone who is basically the opposite, like the opposite gender version of themselves. Like if this is a man, they're looking for a female version of themselves. And that's hard to find, you know? But I think this person might have put the bar very high to find someone who doesn't exist, so that they don't have to deal with the fact that they might not that they might not be ready, actually. And so, yeah. I think also this person might also have some, you know, I don't know, some fear possibly, that if they fall in love with someone, that they might have to change things about themselves, which might actually be causing them to, you know, to steer away from love, just because they don't want to change, because they don't want to compromise, they don't want to have someone corrupt their mind, which would never, like, this person is much more persistent in doing that towards others, but maybe that's also the reason why they are afraid that could happen to them, is because they feel like that's something they would do to another person, so they of course expect that to be something that could be done to them, because usually we have ourselves as the measurement, you know, like a cheater will think that everybody cheats. So someone who would only want to change another person if they get in a relationship with someone would also think that everybody is out to change everyone. Like that this person might even tell you that, you know, that they are afraid that, or that you are, like, they might accuse you or someone, I don't know if they are going to accuse you of this, but they might, like, I feel like they have already accused people of trying to change them, which is kind of funny because this is their MO, you know, that's something they do. And they expect that from people, like that they change for them. So, yeah. So I'm going to shuffle a little bit more about what this person thinks of you, or maybe their perception of you. Like how do they perceive you? How does your crush perceive you? Okay. Seven of Cups. And the Lovers came out halfway reversed, halfway upright, which is kind of interesting, but actually the Seven of Cups also came out the same way. So I'm going to read them both as halfway upright, halfway reversed. So that shows an ambivalence. It shows someone who will, and so that makes sense, that their perception of you, it is ambivalent. And I think sometimes they think of you in one way and sometimes they think of you in another. And so that could also explain why this person is maybe a little bit hot and cold towards you. That sometimes it seems like this person really enjoys your company, and then the next day it seems like you're, you know, the gum under their shoe, you know, and that it just seems hard to navigate through this. But I think it's with the Lovers, halfway upright, halfway reversed, I think this person sometimes, well, I think of course, if this is like this person is a sexual being, that can, like, as a sexual being, this person feels sometimes very conflicted. That sometimes this person's bodily urges are strong, and then like their mind is kind of the cock blocker here, because it comes in and, you know, swirls them around and makes tricks on them and makes them question whether, you know, whether this is a good idea. And so I think this person has thought of you sexually, you know, because there is an attraction. They find you beautiful, but it's like this person sees you as a, okay, that's kind of mean, like as a beautiful crazy person. Okay, so that you're beautiful, but you're also crazy, or a little bit. That's how they perceive you, as someone, like, because of your beliefs, because of your opinions, because you might vote for a different political party. That's enough for this person to believe that you are unstable and maybe cuckoo, you know, and that it's kind of, you know, and I feel like this person is actually being serious about this. It's not just jokes, you know. And to be so certain that you, like, I feel like this person is so certain that they are right, and that so that they can actually judge everybody else for being wrong if they have a differentiating belief than they have. And so it's just a lot of, you know, a lot of certainty about something that isn't actually, like, there is no right or wrong answer in politics or in religion. So it feels like, since this is the two topics that this person seems to be very certain about, it's kind of ridiculous, because, you know, it's the only, like, if it was math, you know, then okay, you know, there is just one answer. But since it's not that, you know, then it just feels weird to be so certain and so cocky about it. But okay, but I think sometimes this person actually wants to, you know, maybe just have like a one night stand with you or something like that, because they feel, you know, a physical attraction. But then they're like, you know, then they overthink it, and think that, you know, they shouldn't lead you on, and you shouldn't feel attached, and that it's better to just, you know, not lead you on because they don't want to be in a relationship with you because you don't fit their life. You don't fit into maybe their family. They can't see themselves introducing you to their parents or something, because you have a different religion. Especially if that's the case, then I kind of get it, because there are families that are very, you know, extremist in their beliefs, and so they might be very judgmental towards anyone coming from outside, you know, and so that makes sense. But if it's just politics, then I feel like there's no family that can be so politically fanatic. Or maybe there is, but I guess this person feels like there might be something that just won't fly with their family or with them. Just, you know, I don't know if it's, you know, I don't know. But I think this person has thought about you, but it's in some kind of fleeting thing where it's like this person is very flaky about how they feel about you, and it's kind of like sometimes it's like it's a switch. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off, and you know, with the Seven of Cups, also in this ambivalent position, I think this person might see you as you know, a dreamer, and that's something that this person kind of enjoys about you, but that you also, like, in this dreamer personality that you have, I think sometimes you might go down a tangent that this person just doesn't understand. Like that sometimes, sometimes I think this person can actually follow what you're saying, and sometimes they feel like you two actually have like some things in common, you know, but very, very briefly, because then you might, you know, you might start talking about something else that they just don't understand, or that they just can't follow. And, you know, you shouldn't change your personality. You should be with someone who can yeah, someone who can fly with that, like that. It shouldn't scare a person away that you might sometimes talk about maybe spirituality, and, you know, maybe past lives, or, you know, karma or something, and just these things, even though it's not completely wacky, but I think for this person it's just weird for them. Like they find it strange, and they don't like talking about it. And I think it's because, you know, they feel like it's a little bit Looney Tunes, you know, and I feel like sometimes this person like puts like kind of wants to put their fingers in their ears and not listen to you when you talk about something, because it's like some things might actually be triggering for them, because they feel like, especially if this person is very religious and comes from a very, you know, yeah, very extremist religious cult or something, like then then, you know, if someone talks about, you know, tarot or anything spiritual, this person, like that's just, or not spiritual, because spirituality is okay, but you know, anything like, I don't know, voodoo, or, you know, black magic, or even white magic, or witchcraft, but also something like, just something like astrology could be something this person feels like that, like this is going against their God, even though there's a lot of astrology in the Bible, by the way, but you know, it's like I feel like this person is just like, they don't want to hear something that doesn't fit their religion, or their way of practicing their religion, and like, and anything that they don't agree with, they don't want to listen to. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards, just to get a little bit more information on what they think of you. Okay, with a child wounded, it says awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. You know, I don't know if, but maybe they just see you as a wounded child, like someone who was wounded as a child, possibly. They might think of you as someone who had a difficult upbringing. But I feel like that's actually not evoking any compassion in them, which is strange, because I think they still feel like whenever you talk about something that doesn't fit their fancy or whatever, that they judge you very unfairly, which is the opposite of being compassionate. And I think, you know, one thing is to just disagree with someone, but to actually, you know, have this mental image where I feel like this person just wants to put their fingers in their ears. And this, to me, feels very disrespectful, and feels like this person is, you know, like, because, you know, you can listen to someone and be like, I've listened to a lot of people where I didn't agree with what they had to say, but I found it interesting anyways, and I wanted to hear it. Like, I've heard of people, like, I've heard of people who have been seeing a lot of, like, seeing things, and I've always found that very interesting. People who have met historical people through the spiritual. And even if I sometimes I have talked to this one person who claimed to have talked to a lot of historical people, like in person, you know, where it was, you know, it seemed very real for them. And I can't say whether this was, you know, like, it's not my place to say if that didn't happen, or if it was a delusion or not, or whether it was actually a spiritual experience. Of course, that person also believed that Jesus was a Freemason who time traveled, and, you know, that sort of thing. And then this person also talked a lot about aliens. And, you know, it was a very interesting conversation. I knew that I had to take some of it with a grain of salt. And I'm not comparing you with this person that I'm, but you know, I just feel like it's very poor to not want to talk, to listen to anyone who has had, you know, an experience or who has a different belief system. Like, why not? Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, it's interesting. It's always interesting to hear someone who has something to say about something that you've never heard of before. Like that will, like, I feel like that must bring a lot of curiosity, you know, like in most people. But I think this person is not curious about anything that they haven't heard of before, or that they don't know about. It's like they only want to hear about things that they know about, which is just strange, because it's very limiting, and it's not, you know, this person doesn't seem to want to broaden their horizons or anything like that. And I feel like this person is just kind of narrow-minded. So with the gossip reversed, I'm actually going to see it as the opposite of a gossip, because the shadow attributes here, sometimes I don't really know if I agree with the shadow attributes, because I like to read reversals as the reversed meaning of the card when it's upright, you know. But the shadow attributes, it says thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. And then the light attributes is actually awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust, which I feel like, you know, in my opinion, these two things should maybe be opposites. Like that the shadow attribute should actually be what this, but I guess it's just that the light attributes is what it means positively, and the shadow is a negative. I get that, but I just feel like it's still the gossip. So I'm going to read it, like if I saw it upright, I would see it as a gossip, like someone who's a gossip. When it's reversed, it's someone who isn't a gossip. I'm going to go with that, because I find that to be more sensible here. And I think this person actually sees you as someone who's not a gossip, someone who doesn't betray confidences, and that you seem to be quite tolerant actually of other people. And that's something that this person definitely doesn't have. Like, this person doesn't have a tolerance for people outside their own comfort zone, like the people who are within their, you know, their echo chamber where everybody agrees with each other. Like, they don't like it when people are a little bit different. And so I think this person actually finds you to be maybe a little bit too maybe too good of a person, actually, because you give people a chance, you're nice to people even if they are different from you, and like you talk in the same way to someone, like to someone with a high degree in something, or a high position, like a leadership position in a big company or whatever, that you would speak to that person the same way as you would speak to like a homeless person on the street, and that you don't feel like you have to be different towards people of different statuses, like that social hierarchy. It just doesn't really like it's not. It doesn't make sense to treat people differently, and I think this maybe this person actually finds you to be a socialist. And I don't think this person means that in a positive way, and that you are too open towards different people, and that you're maybe a little bit of a hippie in their point of view, since you can tolerate everyone, and that you're not someone who, you know, because I think this person is actually a gossip. The person that you're asking about, your crush, I think your crush is a gossip. I think your crush talks shit about everyone behind their back, especially if they differentiate in their like in something like religion, political views. If they have something that makes them a target for their bullying. I think this person is also a little bit of a bully. I don't think they bully anybody in like to their face, but I think they do it behind their back, because I think this person is just not very nice to people who they disagree with, like who are. I think this person could also be slightly, not that this has anything to do with anything, but I think this person is maybe quite homophobic, actually. Of course, it's gonna be different for all of you. I feel like this person I'm just getting some message that this person feels like the society is heading towards disaster because there are too many gay people or something. I don't know, or like that the gender norms or whatever, that gender fluidity or whatever, that it's causing the downfall of humanity or whatever. I don't know, but I think this person is, you know, a little bit taking things a little bit too seriously, and possibly also being a little bit like, I don't like this. I feel like it's okay to have an opinion about something. I'm not saying that this person, like, that I think less of this person just because they have an opinion. And that's like, because I don't want to stoop to their level, even though maybe I just did. But, you know, like, I've talked to a lot of people who have this opinion. And like, still, if people say this to me, like, I'm going to disagree with them, because I feel like it's like, you know, if there's anything that's causing the downfall of humanity, it's not because of gays. Like, they're not hurting anybody. Like that you know. So I think it's, yeah, I would disagree, you know, respectfully disagree with that, and I would tell them why I disagree, and I would, you know, but I would not, like, what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't, you know, not want, well, of course I might not, like, okay, I'm just as bad at this person actually when it, like, okay, I wouldn't date someone who believes that gays are the reason why humanity is going to shit, you know, like that sort of thing, like that. I would probably judge a person and say that you know, so if I should reverse what this person is doing to you, I would maybe, so maybe I'm not that tolerant either towards people who believe something different than I do, but this is not about me. Like, let's not make it about me, because I know that I'm kind of losing at that game if we do that. But you know, let's just say, okay, like, there are too many differences between you and this person. It would never work out anyways, and so, you know, it is what it is. I think this person finds you physically attractive, though. If that's like, if that helps a little bit, but yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose this Cirque du Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4? What does group number 4's crush think of group number 4? Okay, this person thinks of you as a handsome devil. So if you're a man, that's a good thing. If you're a woman, it's not that. It seems like this person just finds you very attractive. So, you know, this person also finds you to be very hilarious, very funny, and that you two get along really well. That, you know, whenever this person sees your face, they smile. You know, it makes them smile to just think of you. And, you know, this person feels very at ease in your company and feels like you two are just vibing very well together, but that you also just have, you know, this chemistry. You know, it seems like it's just natural when you two are together, or when you're talking together. It's like both of you are smiling, both of you are, you know, happy to see each other. Like it just, it feels good. But I feel like there's also a downside to this. Like there's something that comes as an obstacle here, and it's not because I'm spinning it in a negative direction. It's because there is something that concerns this person and something that makes it unrealistic to be together. And I think it's because of, like, for many of you, it's either because, I'm getting that for many of you, it's the long distance, that you two don't live close to each other. I feel like this person, like, if you two were living like next door to each other, this person wouldn't be able to keep their hands off you. They would just seize the moment and seize the day, and just, you know, they would ask you out. They would, you know, really make something out of this. But since you live far away from each other, it's like this person is on the brakes with this. They know that, like, they don't even really want to go there. Like when they fantasize about you, when they think of you, like there's always this point where they feel like, I can't cross this point, because if I cross this point, it's just gonna be devastating, you know, because they know that, you know, it's never really gonna happen. It's not realistic. It's just a dream. It's just a fantasy. So I feel like this person feels like it's very unfair. You know, this person, especially if this is a long distance thing, I think this person feels like they have been on Tinder, they have been on all the dating apps, they have been looking for love for a long time, I think, and it's just never worked out for them. And they feel like it's just annoying that the first time where they feel like there's actually chemistry, then it's not gonna happen, because you live so far away that it would never work out. And yeah. And if it's not a long distance thing here, if that's not the case, then I think like this must be some other unattainable thing where either it's because this person is your teacher or something like that, or this person is your student, or this person is someone that you have like a, you know, you have a work relationship with this person, and so for you two to have something romantic going on would potentially go against some policy at your workplace, which would get you in trouble for that. So that would jeopardize your job, and it would jeopardize their job, and so maybe that's the thing. And it could also potentially be against the law or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know how this works, but I think this person just finds it to be something that's unrealistic, because of some factor that makes it unrealistic. Something yeah. There could also be an age difference or something, but I don't know if that's the thing for most of you, but I feel like this person is just, like, this person actually feels like there's something here that they have never felt before, you know, or that they feel like this is just, yeah, that it's unfair that when they finally find someone they have chemistry with, then it's just not actually gonna happen, like not possible. I don't know. I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about how your crush thinks of you, what your crush thinks of you. Temperance. This is actually a beautiful, like in this Temperance card here, you can see a beautiful woman in a beautiful dress, and you know, she even, yeah, she's a kind of like an angel with the wings and all of that, and you know, she's blindfolded. And I think either this is you or this is them. I don't know, but I think they feel like, you know, you're really beautiful, but you are maybe also blind to this, like this thing that comes between you two. You know, that for this person that you're asking about, I think they feel like it's very obvious, like that this can never happen, because of, you know, the thing that keeps you apart, this thing that separates you, that this person takes it very seriously, and they try really hard to not go there in their brain, because they know that it's just gonna fuck with their mind if they try, like if they humor the idea of actually doing something about this. I think they feel like it's just a dead end, because of the practical aspect that just doesn't add up. Like it wouldn't, like it would also maybe be frowned upon, if like, not if it's a long distance thing, possibly like only if it's a long distance thing where you two live in two different countries, then this person might feel like it would be looked down upon, it would be frowned upon by their family, possibly because their family might not want them to find someone outside their own country, and that they don't, that they might think of logistics, that it doesn't seem very practical to live in two different countries, and like if you chose to live in the same country, or like that one of you would move to the other country to live together, then like what about the children? Would the children then have to, you know, just say goodbye to their grandmother in the airport every time, like every summer, because they can't see their grandparents more than maximum once a year or something, and so that there might be some things like that where the family is maybe against a multi national relationship. So but they feel like maybe you see a possibility where there might not be one, because it seems like maybe, like, or maybe they feel like maybe your crush feels like you have been flirting with them, and that they feel like, well, you can't be flirting with me because, you know, it's never gonna work out. So I think like this person would really want to reciprocate, you know, like if you have flirted with them, they want to flirt back. Obviously they want to, and like they would if they didn't have this very pessimistic view on the future, you know, where they feel like this can't work out. And if this is like a teacher-student thing that's going on, if this is a teacher of yours, I know it's maybe maybe very specific if it's a teacher, but I know it's not going to resonate with all of you. But if it is, if this is your teacher, I think they feel like, you know, you can flirt with them, but they can't flirt with you because, you know, they would lose their job if they did. And so and that maybe they feel like you're blindfolded to the limitations of like what they can do respectfully. You know, they can't jeopardize their job here. Like it also would look bad, that it could potentially ruin their reputation. It could make them not just jobless, but someone that would also maybe have a hard time finding a new job, as this might haunt them in the future if they, even if you two are maybe similar in age, possibly, even if there's maybe nothing, like it's not something creepy going on, it's not like a 15-year-old who's getting together with a 50-year-old. It's not like, I feel like it should be more ethically, you know, plausible here, because I feel like it's not morally bankrupt to do something like this. I feel like but it just looks like there are some rules and regulations that causes this to be frowned upon. And it's like a rule where everybody just falls under the same rule, even though, you know, some people can be a mild version of that and some people can be an extreme version, but everybody just gets punished for as if it was the same crime, even though it's not. Like a 30-year-old and a 25-year-old meeting up, you know, or like something like that. That's like, I feel like it's not a, just because there's a work thing here or some kind of, you know, power balance that's off or whatever, It should be okay, but it's just not. And this person feels like they know that this can't be a thing, that it's unrealistic, but they feel like you don't want to see the reality of it. Possibly. But I feel like it's different for all of you, but I'm sensing that this person is very fond of you and finds you to be extremely beautiful, extremely funny. It's just so many factors there are so many factors at play that it's just not adding up in terms of like, yeah, their dream is much different than what they can actually materialize into reality, you know, if that makes sense. With the Six of Swords reversed, they feel like, okay, so this is about moving. So for those of you where this is about long distance, which I feel like is actually most of you, where this is gonna resonate with you. If it's long distance, I think this person doesn't want to move. They don't, like, they are quite happy where they are, even though it's, you know, I don't know, like, it's not like they are overly happy, you know. But they just don't want to move. They feel like maybe they would be the one moving to you if anything should happen between you two, and that they feel like they can't do that. Mostly because of their family. I think this person is rather close to their family and their parents, and I think they feel like this person could be a little bit of a mama's boy or mama's girl if this is a woman. But you know, like, this person might feel like, or daddy's girl, or I don't want to, you know, whatever. But you know, it's just, it could be that this person is just very close to their parents, and that they feel like they would be letting their parents down if they met someone in a different country and actually, you know, started a relationship with someone in a different country, and like that, moving away from their parents, and robbing their parents from the experience of becoming grandparents, who can be involved in the grandchildren's life. I think this person might have like a romanticized view of their future, like in terms of their family, like they when they have a nuclear family, they see themselves living like next to their parents, kind of, or close to their parents, where their children can just run to their grandparents, and you know, that this kind of beautiful family thing where everybody's kind of just, you know, everybody's involved in each other's lives, and like people coming unannounced, and you know, like that sort of thing. I think that's the dream, maybe, and I think this person feels like they need to find someone locally, like someone in their local area that they can be with, you know. But I know this person also feels like that's a dead end for them, because they can't find anybody close by, because, you know, they haven't had chemistry with anyone in their local area. and they haven't met anyone like you, and so you know, I think this person is quite conflicted in all of this, and yeah. But it feels like there is like a strong connection here. So if you want to know if your crush has mutual feelings for you, I can assure you that they do. They definitely do. With the Three of Swords reversed, this person thinks of you as someone who would never break their heart, you know, that you seem like someone who seems like just a very good person, and that it just happens to be really hard to come by someone who is, you know, a stand-up person, who doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and someone who's actually thoughtful and compassionate and empathetic, and you know, it's just, yeah. So this person sees you as a good person with a good heart. Also someone who might you know, what's it, surprise people, like that you're and that you surprised this person, because I think this person's first impression of you was that maybe you were like, they thought that you were a little bit more shallow, possibly because they really find you to be very attractive. And so I think this person just imagined that since you are very attractive, that you must be superficial and you must be someone who, you know, isn't a very compassionate and kind person because of the way you look. Because you've never had to be, you know, that you've never had to be a good person in order to make friends, because you maybe maybe this person just imagined that you've just always had it easy when it came to like making friends, because people always want to be friends with you because of maybe the way you look, and maybe because you're maybe good at sports or something. I don't know, but I think this person just like, I feel like your crush imagined that you were different, that you were not yeah, that you were not so kind and sweet, and but you are, and they realized that very quickly. So, but I think they also did, like, they didn't expect you to be a little bit nerdy, or, you know, that you have some interests that are a little bit strange, or, you know, that you differ from, you know, the stereotype that they had put you in. So I think they were positively surprised when they realized that you had more layers to you, like that you were a multi-layered person, that you had so many other aspects of you that were just really interesting to reveal, like open up to, like that it was really nice when they got you to open up and talk about some things that were maybe a little bit hard to talk about, but you know, it was still like, I don't know what this was about, but I feel like this person feels very connected to you, especially after they got to know you. So with the 7 of Pentacles reversed, okay, so I think this person thinks of you as someone who doesn't have a fear of missing out. That you seem like someone who's not always, you know, waiting for someone cooler to come along. Like that you're very good at living in the moment, cherishing the moment, cherishing who you are talking to at the moment, not constantly thinking about something that you would rather be doing than the thing that you're doing at right now, you know, like that you're yeah. I'm going to shuffle some of these Gypsy Oracle cards just to get a little bit more information on what your crush thinks of you. Haughtiness. Okay, so they find you to be very attractive. They find you to be, you know, like a peacock, you know, that the peacock it's very flashy. It's a very, especially the male peacock is very very keen on attracting the female, and you know, I think this person finds you to be either, like, it doesn't matter what gender you are. I think this person finds you to be very very attractive, a little bit flirty, possibly, and that this person likes that. They like that you're a little bit cheeky, maybe, with the way that you flirt, or also like maybe you just have a cheeky personality, and that you sometimes say some things that you're like, where it's just banter, or but it's also just, you know, it's maybe that you sometimes tease them or something, but in a very in a very loving way, where and also that you seem to be I feel like this person finds you to be flirty, and you might say some things that are, you know, that you might make jokes sometimes that are a little bit provocative in some way, that it's funny to them, and they find you very funny. But they might also find you to be a little bit superior to them. Sometimes they might see you as someone who is maybe not completely within their league you know, that sometimes they feel like you're, like, even though it's not something that preoccupies this person that much, because I think this person knows that there is chemistry here. So it's not about leaks and, you know, being like who's the hottest or who's, you know, most attractive and like that. It's not about that for them. And I know that this person feels like, you know, they can tell that you possibly also feel the chemistry here. So I don't think this person is a very insecure person, actually, but I think this person finds you like to be maybe a little bit too pretty for them. Like, you know, that it's, they might feel like they are a little bit rough around the edges, a little bit like, you know, yeah. And sometimes they might feel like, well, maybe you two are a little bit of a mismatch when it comes to physical appearance. They feel like you're, you know, you're more conventionally pretty, someone that other people find pretty too, that you feel you're very handsome, very beautiful, and people can see that, and people, you know, everyone would agree on that. I think this person feels that way about you, that everybody must agree that you are, you know, very conventionally attractive. People have always seen you as, you know, the prom queen or prom king kind of. I don't know, like I'm not gonna assume, but I think this person just feels like you must have always had it kind of easy in high school because of the way you look, whereas maybe they feel like they had a little bit of a funny look, especially when they were younger, and that that this is still something that's rubbing off on their personality, that they feel like they have always had to possibly fight a little bit harder because of the way that they look, and that maybe they feel like, you know, what if you realize one day that, like, if this person pursued you, even though this person knows that both of you feel a certain way about each other, that they're just afraid that maybe one day you're going to wake up and realize that you two are not on the same level in terms of attractiveness, you know, that it's just going to occur to you one day that, you know, that you're a mismatch physically, like in terms of physical appearance. And, you know, I think that's ridiculous, but I think it's also kind of just, you know, paranoia, you know, like that sometimes we feel a little bit insecure about something, and then we're like, well, what if, you know, I don't know. So I'm going to shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a little bit more information on how your crush perceives you. Queen? Okay, yeah, Queen. This person perceives you as a queen. And so I kind of like that. I like the synchronicities, because I just said prom king or prom queen, and then the queen comes up, and, you know, of course I don't want to, you know, brag necessarily, but I do like when things add up, you know. So I like that the cards agree with what I'm saying. But, you know, I think this person, thinks of you as a queen, and that they would really like you to be their queen. if you're a man, then just see this card as the king instead, you know. I'm just seeing that the majority of you are probably women, so the queen matches the majority. But if you're a man, just remember that it's just the same thing. It's just you know, the king instead of the queen. So but yeah, I think this person wants to make, like, well, in a perfect world, this person would want to be with you, like, and live happily ever after with you, like a fairy tale kind of thing. But they just know it's a fairy tale. And, you know, they feel like you're locked up in some room up in some castle, and that they don't have the key, because they don't seem to know how to make this happen, because there are so many factors at play here, so many things where it's not very easy to solve this puzzle, how to make this happen between you two. Like they would want to have all the answers, they just don't, and they feel like it's a beautiful dream, but it's maybe not more than that. But they will still fantasize about this, but they will always get to a point in their mind where they feel like, I can't cross this, I can't start thinking about, you know, something real here. Like for instance, like what if we just move, like what if one person moves to the other country, or what if if it's not a long distance thing, if it's a teacher student thing, then maybe this person thinks like, okay, but what if I just, you know, stop working here, like if I just if I leave this job and start a job somewhere else, then we can be together. But then this person just stops themselves from thinking that thought, because they also know that there are too many variables in this. Like they would maybe, you know, leave their job for a fantasy that then turns out to maybe not be a thing, or like that maybe if they do this for you, then maybe you're gonna change your mind, and then they're just gonna sit there jobless without a partner either, and so they would just lose everything. And so I think there are too many variables. This person feels like, you know, it's hard, but they want to. They really want to. And they find you very beautiful. Yeah. But I think I'm going to end the reading here. So thank you for watching. I hope this reading was helpful, and have a great day, and bye.